Hi, this is Dan Danford. We're doing a series of podcasts called Money Made Easy for dadsdivorce.com. Each week we take a look at either a question submitted by one of the viewers from the website or a topic of particular financial interest at the time. This week we have a great question that came to us from a viewer. I have two newborn twin sons. We don't have a college fund set up yet, but I'd like to start one. However, we don't have that much money to contribute, and seeing how much college tuition costs, I'm already worried about not being able to save enough to send not one, but two kids to college at the same time. I know it's 18 years away, but even saving a little each month doesn't make me feel like that will be enough. Do you have suggestions on how best to save for two twins' college tuitions? Well, first of all, congratulations. Twins are very cool. Got very good friends that have twins, and I understand that there are some real challenges that come with having twins in the family, and also some real blessings. And I think that you're in for a real treat as you go forward from here. One of the challenges is exactly what you raised, and that is sending two children to college at exactly the same time. Most families struggle with the notion of one, let alone two. And as you point out, that is a special challenge. And I'll also commend you for noticing how important it is that kids go to college today. That didn't used to be the case in America, but today it is. Most every job out there requires some kind of either additional college training or maybe some vocational training, but in any case, there is almost always specialized needs after high school. And the good families that set aside money to try to help their kids accomplish that are really doing them a big favor in the long run. Another point that's worth noting, and you mentioned it in your question, is how much that tuition costs. The most recent numbers that I could find were for 2008 and 2009. And the average college tuition in those years was $10,000, $500 in each year. If it's out-of-state tuition, you can add another $8,000 or $9,000 to that, so it's almost $20,000 a year. And if you're going to go to a private college or university, you can double it. So you're talking about a tremendous amount of money to send kids to school. One of the things that always kind of surprises me and amazes me, and again, you've touched on it in your question, but that's how long we have to prepare for it. And it really is important. My wife is a high school counselor, and we're sometimes amused when people come to her and say, well, you know, my son is a senior this year. You need to help me find scholarship money because I haven't set any money aside. We always kind of smile at that because it's like when you have a child, basically an 18-year clock starts ticking. You know that there's going to come a day when they graduate from high school and they're probably going to go to college or someplace. And you have all that time to prepare for it. It's just sort of amusing that so many people don't do anything. I think they think it's just going to take care of itself eventually. Or maybe they'll find a good high school counselor that can help them take care of it for them. In any case, a couple of observations I'd make. A couple of things that you might think about. One of the first things is that almost nobody pays for college tuition with cash. I don't care how good a family you are, probably most people who go to college do so with a combination of scholarships, grants, and loans. Three different things there. Scholarships are usually given because of academic performance or maybe athletic performance or maybe some other special skill. A grant is often something that is need-based. The university recognizes that you don't have as much money as somebody else, so they'll give you some money, or they'll give you money because you're going to study in certain areas or whatever. And the third is loans that are available to you. So don't necessarily think that just because you're going to have one or two kids in college, you have to have all that money sitting there before they get started. First thing is, it's a combination of funding sources that take care of most people. The second thing is that you should start setting some money aside today. I recognize what you're talking about when you say it doesn't seem like enough. And that is true, that we know that it's going to be expensive 18 years down the road. But it also is true that if you set aside $25 or $50 per child per month, it will add up to quite a bit of money over a 17 or 18 year period of time, especially if you use like a College 529 plan where that growth accumulates tax-free. 529 plans are great because you usually get a tax deduction for money going into the plan. The money grows tax-free in all the years it's in the plan, and then when you finally spend it for college or vocational expenses or whatever, it comes out of the plan without any taxes as well. And all that tax-free compounding over a long period of time adds up to a significant amount of money. So even if you just start with $25 or $50 a month today, if you add to that as time goes forward, you will have accumulated quite a bit of money when the kids are actually at the point where they're going to start school. And this really is a case where having something set aside is better than having nothing set aside. It's really easy to do, it's automatic, you can set it up, and I'd encourage you to do so. The third thing is a long ways away, but it's critically important, and it's something I talk to all parents about. And that is to be careful when you choose the school or schools. One of the things I see in my practice, people come to me, lots of young families, and one of the things they're often struggling with is paying off student loans. Now, student loans aren't a bad thing. I mean, student loans are important to get you through school, and I encourage people to take out student loans if that's what's necessary to get it done. But one of the surprising things is that for many professions, it really doesn't matter where you got your degree. You can get your degree at a local community college, you can go to the state university, or you can go to a private school. But the bottom line is, when the local hospital hires you to be a nurse, they don't care where you got that degree. And the fact that you've got $50,000 or $75,000 worth of debt because you went to an expensive private school doesn't change your income a bit from whether you got that degree at a community college and you graduated with very little debt. So I know it's 15 years out, but it's something that I really suggest to people, and that is try to match up what your child is going to do with a college degree with the college or the course of study that they take on.